Boo.
You have, what story are we at on here? Is this your second?
Yes, it's my second.
All right, let you go for it here. Let me get the music going.
Alrighty, this is titled "We Found a Skinwalker." This is an older story. It's from about 5 years ago, and they said this happened to them a year before. Me and a few friends decided to take a trip up to the Rocky Mountains because we were bored and decided it would be a nice drive. After getting up past Breckenridge and a few of the old mining towns, we found ourselves in a heavily wooded park area. It was starting to get dark, and we decided it was time to turn around and head home. It was a miracle my old stick-shift Kia had made it as far as it did. But it got good gas mileage, and I trusted it. We got up through some of the forest roads and switchbacks. It was getting late, probably around 9:30, and it was pitch black outside. Our cell service was also going in and out due to it being so far out in the woods. We decided to stop at what looked like a trailhead and check a map to make sure we were getting back towards the highway. We hopped out of the car. There wasn't a map on what we thought was a park sign. It turned out to be a piece of wood that may have been a sign at one point, but had eroded beyond legibility. We turned around and then heard a noise near the car, brushing it off as a raccoon or maybe a small deer. We got back in, and one of my friends at the back commented on a cabin-looking structure through a bit of trees when I turned on the headlights. I was starting to get a bad vibe from this area. It started backing out of the, little divot we were in. That was when we saw it near the trees. It wasn't a deer, but an almost dog-like creature. Too big to be a dog, however. It had patches of black fur and an arch in its back. When we started to back out, it turned to look at the car. Piercing yellow eyes shot out from the darkness, almost like a flashlight from the reflection from the headlights. Now I knew for sure I didn't want to find out what it was, and we whipped the car around as fast as we could. I got back on the road, and I thought we were in the clear until my friend in the back shouted that it was running beside the car, going around 35 miles an hour. I hit the gas and it made an unearthly growling noise. After the next turn, it was gone. There are stories in these parts of the mountains about skinwalkers, which are a Navajo legend. They most commonly appear as a black four-legged creature and fittingly have disturbingly yellow eyes. While I'm not sure what the thing outside the car was, I don't think I ever really wanted to know. We've all sworn we would never return there, and we haven't told anyone else about what happened that night. It's funny how...
Chupacabra. Someone said it sounds like a chupacabra.
Actually, I was thinking the chupacabra story because also the chupacabra is also described as having, lamp-like yellow eyes and stuff like that. I need to find a good chupacabra story sometime.
Yeah.
But, I was reading it, and I was like, man, I'd go for a good Skinwalker story. And so when you said you had one, I was like, oh, no way. Hopefully you don't have...
It's getting to the point where it's ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing better. And, they're so well documented. It's, almost as much, if not more so, than the shadow people.
I'm not going to lie. Until we started this show, I had never heard of a Skinwalker.
Oh, really?
I just heard of Smooth Skin from Fallout, when that guy'd call you, hey, Smooth Skin.
I had heard about them several times over the years, mostly because, I hear a lot of Native American stories here and there, and so I had heard about. They're supposedly ancient shamans made a pact with something, created these things, and
So where you have a new backstory every time for Skinwalker. Is this the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing, and they
So where you're just throwing something new out every time.
Yeah, apparently the Navajo shamans,
Navajo, you did talk about that, yeah.
They made a pact with something and created these things, and they've been around since then.
It does seem like you said, though, it's Arizona, Nevada, Utah.
And this one was actually in Colorado. I don't know if I mentioned.
Okay, same thing, right? I guess.
Yeah, all in that western state area. Another thing about skinwalkers is apparently when you talk about them, you summon them, and they come to you eventually.
We've been talking about these sons of bitches a whole lot, so
Yeah, so we might need to be ready. They're also
what do I do though if I encounter a skinwalker?
Well, they're unkillable. You can't harm them with any mortal weapon. I do know that some shamans can apparently cast spells to keep them away. And mostly you just got to try to not follow them. They'll call to you in the night. And they say, don't go out there when they call to you. Don't go where they want you to go.
But they didn't in that video. He's or in the video I just showed, or in the story, just disturb them or something like.
I think if they are if you stumble upon them, they'll chase you. But if they're actively hunting you,
are they able to hunt you and do whatever to you if chasing you? Is because the way you presented before was like they needed to manipulate you. These sons of bitches are just chasing them.
So if they're actively hunting you, they'll try to manipulate you into coming near them so that then they can chase you.
Okay.
So if you stumble upon them, they'll just chase you. But most of the time, they'll be hunting you and they'll be calling to you.
Someone said they'd never go outside late at night. Someone calling their name. I probably wouldn't either.
But they can also sound like people you know.
Yeah, like that one story with that guy who was camping with that other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Remember that one where they were shaking the camper?
Yeah.
We have a pretty good Skinwalker collection going here. We're going to have one day we'll have a full episode we can just share.
Yeah, Skinwalker playlist.
Yeah. I think one day we could literally just re-release them on one episode. And
the top Skinwalker stories.
Yeah. I just don't know if the not deers figured out in there or not. I still got to get that.
The not deers are something else. From what people say, they're not skinwalkers.
And they're
not
deer.
Yeah.
Kind of like the train guy. Maybe that's what he was whispering.
Yeah, he's a skinwalker, but not a very good one.
Oh, gosh. That'd be insane. Skinwalker on a train. These things are everywhere.
He's trying to become a snake. He's going...
His statter. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that was a cool story, man. I can't believe we did it again with the Skinwalker things. We've talked about them so much. I don't know how to reply anymore besides wow. It's like every time it's doing something crazy, it's like running 35 miles an hour, shaking campers.
It's like, yeah, sure. That sounds right.
Just traveling in a pack that one time when we was shaking that camper.
There's a couple of them, yeah. Then there was that one that the truck driver who encountered one in the desert and rammed into her truck. Do you remember that story?
Was that the dog one or a different one?
It was a dog, yeah.
But it was a weird dog, right? It was standing up and doing weird stuff. Yeah. Gosh, that was a good story too. Man, I'd never realized there's so many Skinwalker stories out there till now.
Jeff Townsend Media. CG, good night.
And the question is, do I stay here? Will you be back? Are you gonna come back? Will you be back? Are you coming back?